Hello and welcome to a new series I'm calling Surf and Turf. And here we have SurfRock66, and he is going to be showing us all around his amazing creations that he has created with all the spare time that he has.
Yep.
So, let's get it started.
The first day of the server, I wanted to go far enough away to find a place nobody was going to grief, and so I just sort of walked until I found this mountain formation up here. And so I wanted to have kind of a hidden place that nobody was going to find. So I start out in this valley, and I actually encouraged these trees to grow in this grid. I planted them so that they grow. What's really neat is this area really encourages creepers to spawn like crazy. I mean, there's always bad guys here at night. But then as far as how do you get to my house from here, if you look up here in the mountain, it's not really a secret anymore, but it used to be sort of a secret entrance. You had to climb up the mountainside here and really scale it all the way up. It was really hard to get to, especially in the beginning. Once you finally got to the top, there's kind of a nondescript door right here.
Oh, I'm having so much trouble here. Ugh,
Yep, that was
turn my
that was
crosshairs back on. Okay, let's see. Ah, there we go. Interesting.
So this was the original entrance.
And we have Mr. Goldstar 1 coming along with us. He actually, apparently, according to him, was one of the people who helped with the building of many of Surf Rock's creations with all of his German friends. So,
He
yeah.
helped. Yep. So originally I just wanted a little mountain cave house. So I dug this down, put some rooms in. Most of this is storage space. Most of this just a little stuff, a little bit of inside farm, some factories, some chest rooms in here, most of which was already raided and stolen now that everyone knows it's here. But lots of stuff was stored in here for a long time. It's pretty much all empty now.
Ah.
Yeah, that's okay. We've moved on to bigger and better things. There's a tree farm in here.
Yeah.
But then I wanted to make a railroad at the bottom of the world, and so as I dug down, I found a lava lake, and I started bucket by bucket moving all the lava into these easy-to-deal-with tanks.
Oh.
But then I ran out of room. So I had to make another room. And that's when I came down here. So I made another room.
It seems bit by bit you sort of expanded upon your house, adding in these different rooms, going lower and lower into it.
Yep.
So these rooms kind of represent the progression of your work in Minecraft.
Yes. Now this didn't exist in the beginning. This was all after. But
that's true.
This is the end of sort of the lava lakes. But this whole thing was built going all the way down. Now these two places right here we can look at later, but I found mob spawners in here. And so these are the access points to the traps. That's what these two little areas on the left and the right are.
Now, what would you suggest for finding mob spawners? Because I have never been very successful at that.
Well, recently, if you hit F3, you'll see a whole bunch of ID numbers right over their heads, so they're real easy to find. Ever since 1.3, it's real easy to find them.
Okay.
Yep. But so then I finally got down here, cleared out the lava lake, and I just decided I would really like a lot of cobblestone and a lot of space. So I just started clearing and clearing and clearing and clearing and clearing and clearing and clearing. I just dug this giant hangar out.
Yeah.
I just sort of never finished.
And
so
giant really does not do this thing justice. I mean, it takes forever to get down there and back. I mean, it's just when you do it, it's
Yep. I didn't even use any TNT. So eventually I realized I needed a way to get back and forth quickly, so I put in a railroad, and now it's got three main parts. It's got this part right here, which takes you kind of back to spawn. Hobo and I built this one, which goes out to his house, which is about 1,000 blocks away.
Yeah.
And then one day, Hobo, Mr. Goldstar, and I decided to go out on an excursion to the Dark Tower, which is about 4,000 away in a straight line.
And
Go ahead.
I actually attempted to make a video on it. It was so long, and I was so depressed, I decided I could not put it on my channel. So that's why you guys haven't seen any of that Dark Tower stuff.
Well, we made it out there, and then in doing the one to hobos, I realized how much stuff you get digging a tunnel. I mean, you just get more iron and more diamond that you can use.
Yeah.
So I dug a tunnel all the way. It's got a 90-degree bend to it, so it's 4,500 one direction and 3,000 the other direction
Jeez.
for just over 7,000 total. It's got enough track going both ways. It's boosted. It takes 15 minutes to get from one end to the other. Yeah.
And I can't imagine walking that distance. I mean, building that tunnel must have taken days.
That's where the Germans helped. It took about 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yep. So this whole area here is because in order to get all the items out from the camp out there, I made all of these storage mine carts, and I can just send them back, and they get stuck up here. And then this switch kind of turns this trap on and off, so it can either pass right through, or you can get the storage carts trapped in here.
I see.
Yeah, and there's one of these. There's going to be one of these at the other end. I haven't had to send anything that way. That's sort of the gist of this.
Now, I remember from the second server, you had these minecarts. When they would hit the chest hard enough, it seemed like they would go back in. Is that true, or is that just am I remembering something wrong?
No, but back then we had Minecart Mania installed, and that was a feature of Minecart Mania. So it's not set up to do that here, just because this isn't using any of that, any mods at all right now.
Ah, right.
So it doesn't happen anymore.
Okay. I always wondered about that. I'm like, that is an amazing feature and very helpful.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was amazing. This is something I built a long, long, long time ago. Although unfortunately, I haven't been in here in a long time, and someone said a creeper or two went off.
And
But I made it.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I think that at this point in my new series, Man vs. Minigame, which I actually started today, I'm recording this for my spring vacation thing, but I think at this point I may have done a video on this. If I haven't, though, I probably will soon.
Yeah, for sure. It's it's just like a little fun house. It's got a lot of traps and stuff in it, but I don't even know what it looks like in there recently because I haven't been in a long time. I kind of like the fact that because the Nether is disabled, you can use all these portals here to kind of make it freaky.
Right. Yeah, it's a very, very what's the word for it? Very creepy. Something with Omni in it. That's all I know. It's Omni something.
Yeah, the only other things really down here, there's a giant obsidian field all the way down at the end, which I've been mining for when I need obsidian. I've got about 40 stacks of it right now, especially with all the stuff we pulled. Yeah. To ride that track, I mean, I actually tunneled under a lot of the obsidian. So to do that whole thing, I got a lot more from there. I've kind of got unlimited obsidian at this point. There's really, I mean, I've got tons of it.
I mean, a lot of what you have done, I mean, it really comes from the commitment to stay on top of projects, which I've never been very good at, and you get so much done, you know, stuff that people are capable of doing, but they don't think of doing this kind of thing, and they aren't capable of committing to this magnitude of work.
Yep, that's the nice thing is if I'm kind of doing something else or watching TV or any number of things, I can just sort of do the same thing mindlessly while focusing on something else. So it's easy. That's kind of why I'm always on. It's very easy for me to do this and any other thing I have to do because so many digging the tunnel, I was just going in a straight line. It took no thought at all. Okay.
So should we move on to the next one of your structure thingies?
Yeah, there's only one more real thing to see in here. I don't know if it's even worth it to see the spawn traps, but I have a string collector in here that's just for spider spawner, and then I have a zombie one up here that's just for feathers. It's not that exciting, but it is there.
And we'll see a lot more of those at Mob Mountain. So.
Oh yes! Oh yes! Oh yes! Oh yes! This is kind of my demonstration the day that all the wools came out. I wanted to make one of every kind of dye plus the recipe, so sort of a neat thing there.
Right.
Also, note blocks came out that same day, so I set up just this as a test. Eventually, I decided to try to make a music room, but it was really hard to make the music even because of, there's weird server delays. I haven't remade this room with the new repeaters yet, and I intend to. But there's a switch.
I have found that the repeaters are actually very good, mostly because I mean I think they really just make it easier to what I mean just to create the different timings and stuff, but I'm not really sure how they go with the delays
Yeah.
necessarily.
Yeah, I'll definitely play with it for sure. But the idea there was that it was sort of the power behind this secret club down here,
Right.
which was just sort of silliness.
Haha. It's very squarey.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just sort
Oh.
of club. I called it the club mosh pit or something like that.
Mosh pit.
There's really only one more thing to see, which is sort of the back exit, which kind of takes you to a lot of my other projects.
Yes, and there is a
So,
certain treacherous piece to this, which I don't want to ruin, but it is treacherous.
yes. Well, no. Actually, it's been disabled. The pressure plate is gone. But
Ah,
there used to be dispensers here shooting flaming arrows out at you.
yeah, and it took me a while to finally figure out like what exactly it was doing, and
Yeah.
it's very difficult to avoid getting shot by those.
Yes. So this is the one end of my little railroad across my outdoor area, and this is set up so that I can bring carts of items back and forth. This is just a trap, and then I can flip the switch and send them all back on their way. But it turns into chaos because there's so many of them out there. Because it's night out, I'll show you this way first. This is
Okay.
sort of the safe road to some of my other projects. Gold helped me with the big one out here, but we'll go to the end first. In the old server, I built I called it the slaughterhouse because it had a pig spawner in it that I kind of illegally itemed. But then, I tried to work on making something that would hit the pig spawning algorithm a little bit better. And so this is the slaughterhouse 2.0. It was never really as efficient,
And is this
but
part of
it's a
Mob Mountain or is this?
this is separate
Okay.
project. Yeah, it produces a few pigs. It's not that great. Every once in a while, because of the grass, you'll get a whole bunch of sheep spawning. Then they fall through the holes and get killed with cactus. And then there's a collector down there, but it was never really what I wanted it to be. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, there's a bunch of ham down there that was just there from old time, but nothing really special. Ooh, looks like someone's doing a save. So that's the other big project in here, Mob Mountain. I kind of wanted to make a giant water trough trap. In order to do that, I decided rather than find a natural space, I'd create my own mountain from scratch. And gold helped me with that a lot because it was just a massive amount of work. This is the collector part right through here.